Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the morning show. We are live here in Tuscola on the set of Oklahoma. Wise Guy Wednesday, our very own Wise Guy, Matt Sellon, a.k.a. Cowboy this morning.
I am actually Court Elam, who is federal marshal, and I have this real pretend gun that I can...
I know, where's my gun? And my hat, and my shirt like that.
You can wear my hat.
Oh, that's awful nice of you. Okay.
Okay, so... But I thought we would talk a little about theatrical effects because there's some physics in these things, you know.
Okay.
And so part of the show involves a dream sequence where the heroine of the show, Lori, is dreaming about something to do with, you know, who's a bad guy and who's a good guy and what's her future hold. And so the way you set the mood for this is you want fog, okay?
Fog.
And so now we played with dry ice before, and if you recall, what dry ice is just solidified carbon dioxide. It's just the stuff that you breathe out every time you take a breath. And if you get it cold enough, it turns from a gas into a solid. And if you put this stuff in water,
wow, it
kind of... Well, what happens is it sublimates. It doesn't melt. It's a weird sort of solid. Like usually ice, if you leave it out, it becomes a puddle. This stuff, when you leave it out, it doesn't puddle up. It doesn't go to a liquid at all.
Touch this okay?
Yeah, it's a little, you know, it hurts your fingers if you grab it too tight, but it's not so bad. And so this stuff goes directly from being a solid to being a gas, which has this beautiful property then that if it becomes a gas, when it's inside of water, it bubbles. Right?
Okay.
And these bubbles are very cold carbon dioxide, and so what happens is it causes the moisture in the air to kind of become foggy, and so you get this kind of a neat effect where you get even in a little glass like this.
Okay.
Now what I've done here is to get, you know, a real...
Let's say you have quite a few of them in there.
I have probably about 15 pounds of it in here.
Okay.
And I have here the thing that we actually use in the show. We have two of these, one on each side of the set. And if you look in here...
Yeah, this is the best looking cooler I've ever seen.
It's a cooler that's been retrofitted by our technical director. So it's full of hot water, but it has a hole in one side and then there's a dryer hose. Okay? And so we're going to take this, this dry ice and we're going to dump it in here. And this is going to happen, but kind of on a big scale.
Do you mean to hold this open?
Yeah, why don't you hold that open for me?
I sure will.
Okay, and so all at once, this is going in.
Wow.
See now how it gushes out? And you have a couple of these. And then now Lori's having a big time nightmare. You can just sort of tell, right? Because this stuff sort of gives you the impression, and of course the lights are all kind of red when this is going on, so it's very surreal and very interesting, and so you can just sort of imagine that this is a dream, okay?
Wow.
So anyways, we also have some effects where we light things on fire and things called poof and stuff. And
yeah, you like those too, right?
They're my favorite, to be very honest with you. And so I kind of put some of those together myself.
Can I stand in this?
I like those very much. And actually, where's our frying pan? I was going to bonk.
Well, while she's getting your frying pan, I have a question for you. How long does this last? How long does this go for?
So this goes for several minutes, and so it kind of peters out after maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but that's fine because by that time you don't want it to really distract from the show anyways.
Right.
And so, yeah, so this goes on for quite a while.
Wow.
So
it goes on in the crowd, maybe people sitting in those seats.
Well, if you lean down and you put your hand in it, it feels kind of cool. Right, because it is. So it's very nice because quite often it's a little warm in this room. Okay, and so anyways, I wanted to show you something else. If you have just 2 seconds.
I think we have just a few seconds.
Okay, so here's a frying pan that's made out of real steel, but you can.
Oh my gosh.
You can bonk this, but I didn't really hit myself hard at all.
It's not very good.
Because you kind of load it up by getting it ready like that, so it just takes a little tiny bit.
Wow.
Okay. So it's a good whacker on the header kind of deal, yeah. Okay.
All right, Matt, I hate to wrap you up. We always have such a good time, but I think Jennifer's standing by because it's 6:53. So
oh boy, okay.
We need a good check of weather. Jennifer.
All right, thanks, Amber. And that sounds like a nice little fun time out there in Tuscola this morning. But right